Oh, what? I swear Dave Deuce Mason jinxed us. I swear he did. Guaranteeing a beam. You don't do that. You don't guarantee the beam. Man, you got the Kings losing to the Wizards. You got Dave Deuce Mason guaranteeing a beam. Can't guarantee a beam. And I got a quick one for you guys today. The Sacramento Kings managed to go out, to fly out to Washington, to the East Coast, and lose to the worst team in the NBA, in the Washington Wizards, who only had 16 wins coming into this game. It seemed like the coach and the team were progressively trying to lose that game. Were not even playing their best players at the end of this game. Had Poole on the bench, Alex Sarr on the bench, and the Sacramento Kings were still not able to beat this team who was trying their hardest to lose this game, to the point where it actively looked like the Kings were trying to lose the game. But you know, we had all our best players in, and they just were not. They were not there. They were not there tonight. And mainly in the third quarter, as you'll see, the Kings had one of their vintage bad third quarter games. And the Sacramento Kings lose in Washington to the Wizards, 111 to 116, bringing the Sacramento Kings record to 36-40. That is just an ugly look. They got to 40 losses before they got to 40 wins, which in my opinion is never a great thing on a season, and a tumultuous season that the Kings have had, unfortunately. And right below them are still the Suns, who are one game behind them, currently on a losing streak. All it would take is one win and one loss by the Kings for them to catch up to us, which is not good. Have 1-1 and are 38-39 on the season, almost back to 500 again, where we are 4 games under 500. All I can say is what a season, what a season. Hey guys, before I get too deep into the video, I ask if you can, please go ahead and click that like button, click that subscribe button. We don't have a bunch of subscribers yet, we're new, but I like to analyze these Kings games. If you like to hear Kings analysis, Kings news, you like to hear anything about the Kings, go ahead and subscribe, click that subscribe button. It'll help me kick the algorithm's ass for trying to grow the channel so we could do some more fun stuff later, some watch parties and some other really fun stuff next season. And I would like to say welcome YouTube, and to all my friends, my folks, and you Kings fans out there. It's your guy, Jay Woods, aka Shy the Man, and I'm back at you with another episode of the Kings Morning After Midday Cup of Joe with Jay. Yeah, I think that's the first time I ever featured a soda in one of my videos. It's, you know, it's past noon. Couldn't get the video out in time. I've already drunk my cup of coffee for the day. I'm all hopped up off of coffee. Now I've switched to a soda, so that's why I did a cup of Joe with a soda can, or a soda cup. My apologies. But this is still the Cup of Joe with Jay, and you'll be hearing my Cup of Joe in a minute. And today is April 4th, 2025, and the day is Friday. Yeah, end of the work week Friday. A festive end of the work week Friday. Festive Friday, end of the work week Friday. Yeah, Friday. And my cup of joe for today is, feels weird doing a cup of joe with a soda. Just, it's not the same. So I'm gonna hold my empty cup of joe. There's actually some coffee in here. Oh man, there's some grinds in there too. But anyway, my cup of joe for today is the Sacramento Kings. Man, this team this year, this front office, this ownership, it's weighing on me at this point. This season has been a trip. From firing the coach, which in my opinion never should have happened in the first place, to having to trade your franchise player, your best player, your point guard, captain of the ship, to coaches leaving, front office members leaving, rumors about who's in control of the team, rumors about the owner's daughter making decisions for the team, all this weird stuff, you know. And it's been hard to be a Kings fan this year. I mean, it started off cool, started off okay, started off good. Now, you know, we're all the way to the point where we got guys like Sabonis now all of a sudden is questioning the direction of the team and would like clarity, the same as Fox did, which might mean he wants to be traded, which might be the prequel to him wanting to be traded or requesting a trade. Who knows? But it sounds just like Fox did. They need clarity on where the team is going. And then Fox gets traded. So rough season, man. You know, this right now is just kind of glued together patchwork of a team pretty much now in the aftermath of the De'Aaron Fox dismantling. The chemistry isn't really there yet with this team. You got fans saying blow it up, just get picks. That's a hard route to take, and that's many years before another playoff run. But I'll tell you what, this patchwork stuff that's going on right now, trying to fix the plane while it's flying, it didn't work. It's just not working. Either that or these guys are intentionally trying to lose, which would be so much worse. I hope these guys aren't intentionally losing, or maybe at this point don't care about the season anymore, or, you know, ready to end the season. They don't care about the play-in or the playoffs, maybe because they know they wouldn't compete anyway. But I hope that's not the case either. I want this team to keep fighting. I want this team to keep playing. I want this team to keep making a push, and I want this team to make the play-in push. They lose their pick if they have a top 12 protected pick. I'm not exactly totally sure how that works, if that is just the Western Conference or both Western and Eastern Conference, but they have that, and people are just like, you know, just forget the playoffs. We're not going to do anything. Just go ahead and keep that pick. Don't lose that pick, which, you know, is a good idea in theory. We want to keep that pick, but I'm all about competition, man. I'm all about these guys playing. I want to see these guys play some more. I want to see these guys compete some more. So if they have some more winning in them, I want to see it. I don't want my team laying down, you know, rolling over and letting teams do whatever they want. You know, I don't like that out of my team. You know, unless they were like the Wizards in last place, which they didn't even roll over. This Kings team, they've been hard to like, especially losing to the worst team in the league. It didn't seem like as much losing to the worst teams in the league as it did last year, which they lost like 6 games to the worst teams in the league last year, or maybe even more. But it doesn't seem that bad. But losing to the worst team in the league when we're trying to make this play-in push, where we got Dallas that already overtook us, and Phoenix that is 1 game below us, just feels like this team is not even trying, or they don't even want it. And that's just how I felt after watching that Wizards game. They got back to their old habits of not being able to play defense in the third quarter, and that's what happened in this game. The team just exploded in the second and the third quarter, and the Kings couldn't stop them. And then in the end, they couldn't shoot or, you know, make enough shots to catch up to them. So this game was pretty ugly all around. It was a little embarrassing. So I don't know what else I can really say about that, but I'll just do my bottom line at this point. The Kings morning after bottom line. Today's bottom line is, and my bottom line after the Washington Wizards loss is the Kings, man. I don't know. I don't know if they've punted on the season. I hope they haven't punted on the season, but it's not going to get it, man. They need to figure shit out. I mean, they have this Hornets game coming up tonight. That might be their only chance of getting another victory for the rest of the season. They need to take these opportunities serious and you know, find a way to win the game. Unless they really have just given up on the season and said to hell with it. They don't even want to be in these play-ins or playoffs or whatever. And that would speak to an even bigger issue. My problem, that would speak to a locker room issue and an issue with chemistry and personnel and team and players not even wanting to be on this team. So hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully they'll get it together versus the Hornets tonight, who is another pretty bad team. And hopefully they can use this victory to prepare. Well, I'm not guaranteeing a victory like Dave Deuce Mason did, but if they can get a victory tonight, it's a great opportunity to get one. Hopefully they can bring that on to the next games and get more victories after this, because that would be a pretty depressing season if they don't win any more games and don't make the play-in. But anyway, that's my cup of joe. French roast, 1 creamer. I'm going to give you some quick stats. And so from this Wizards game, Jordan Poole was their leading scorer with 23. He didn't even play most of the fourth quarter, which is kind of telling. You know, he was going off and they pulled him. They didn't want to win that game, but they still won the game. A.J. Johnson had 19 points, and so did Carlton Carrington. And leading assist getter was Carlton Carrington with 7. And their big rebound getter was Justin Champagny with a big 11 rebounds. Off the bench, they had Tristan Vucevic with 17 points. And for the Sacramento Kings, our leading scorer was our guy, DeMar DeRozan, with a huge 29 points. Murray, Sabonis, and Levine each had 18, which I'm okay with. I think they could probably get a little more. Each of those guys should maybe have 20 to 22 points. But, you know, what can I say about that? Keon Ellis only had 2 points on the night, which is a little concerning. You know, they made the switch to switch Monk out and start Keon Ellis, which they thought might help them defensively in that point guard. But in my opinion, it's not working. Keon Ellis throws the ball away a lot. He turns the ball over a lot. And he gets a lot of fouls as well. And he's just not a scorer, and a scorer that they need starting. I believe they should probably, at this point, put Malik Monk back into the starting position. I mean, Keon Ellis didn't have any assists. Monk had 3. He only had 2 points. Monk had 13. And I just believe Monk is probably a better option at this point. Although Keon Ellis only had 22 minutes as well. And the leading rebound getter was our guy, Domantas Sabonis, the blue-collar worker, always getting those boards for us. Team stats, the teams both shot, Kings only shot 42%. Wizards shot 51%. They made 3 more field goals than the Kings. 3-pointers, the Wizards made 7 more 3-pointers than the Kings, which equals 21 more points in threes. And the Kings hit about 8 more free throws than the Wizards, and both teams shot in the mid-70s. Rebounds, Kings 48, Wizards 41. Assist to turnover ratio, Kings 25 and 11, Wizards 24 and 14. So the Kings had a little bit better turnover ratio, and they had 6 more points in the paint than the Wizards. But in the end, it didn't matter because the Kings still lost by 5 points. And as you can see, this is the quarter that got them right here. The third quarter where Wizards were able to outscore them by 11. They got outscored by 3 in the second quarter. And in the fourth quarter, the Kings tried to come back with a 9-point difference, but it still wasn't enough to come back fully, and they lost. Eye test. I'm going to give the Kings an eye test. So for this eye test, I'm going to show the second and the third quarter, show what went right for the Wizards and what went wrong for the Kings. Tristan Cash So at about 9.5 minutes left, the Kings and Wizards were tied. And as you can see, the Wizards went up by 3 at that point.
Financially safe, and I go by the great philosopher that said, trying to make a dollar out of 15 cents. Oh, Tristan hit in the face by JV, who helps him up. Chris is the one. There you go. He has the bounce. He got blessed with the bounce. But if you can somehow put them together, oh my God.
Good two-man game. Free throw shot. Foul that shouldn't have been a foul. That was nice. 7 minutes. Keon Ellis rocks the rim. Keegan. Nice alley by Monk.
Pass over to Monk. Knocks down the 3. That's the second 3 tonight for Sac. Yeah, I messed up, son. We should have flipped that jersey last one.
Well, so with 4.5, as you can see in the second, we're still tied.
The shot clock was expired. Into the body of Ellis. He must have heard Drew Gooden. Use your height to your advantage, youngster. And then he went with
They went up by 9 at that point.
Royal blue, which is one of his favorite
And it's under 3 minutes left, which shows the Kings did not close out the first half well. 11-point lead by the Wizards. And this all happened within a couple minutes. And two of the most important things you can do as a basketball player is close out your first half strong, the end of the second quarter, and obviously close off the second half strong, the fourth quarter. The Kings were able to get it back down to 3. Down to 1 at this point. So going into halftime, the Wizards were up by 3. And in my opinion, they shouldn't have been up at all. And then once they got to the third quarter, that's when all hell broke loose. The Kings weren't able to stop it. The Kings are actually up by 1 right here, with about 9.5 left to go in the third. Which just basically shows me the Kings didn't close out this quarter well. It's very important to close out quarters as well. It's more important to close out the halves, but the quarters are very key as well. Offensive rebound and a very easy three-pointer. Nobody anywhere around him. Levine couldn't catch up. Bad closeout. Nice dunk by Sabonis. The Kings are losing by 7 right here. They got this young team hunting, throwing up shots like that. That's just a prayer. I mean, there's not much you can do about that, but still, giving this young team hope, they're going to shoot shots like that and make them.
Switch now. Well, big guarded by Sabonis. Well, step back 3.
Ooh. 11-point deficit right here with 11 to go.
Another 3 off the glass. Cut that bud.
Yes, you saw that correctly. That was a 14-point lead going into the fourth. And it just always seemed like the Kings could never really catch up to Washington. The Washington's pace was just too much for the Kings this night.
Well, they did it. They doubled.
Very bad closeout. They just assumed he wasn't going to be able to hit any threes.
Sabonis will jump it up with 0.9 to go. And that'll do it. As the Washington Wizards pick up their 8th home.
So, yeah, I mean, it was the third quarter. That was the bad quarter for the Kings, and they weren't able to recoup that in the fourth. No defense, no resistance, barely. and just not enough shooting at the end of the game. And it's just another young team that was able to beat the Kings. Stop! Next up, the Sacramento Kings will be in Charlotte playing the Charlotte Hornets tonight. So go ahead and click that like button and click that subscribe button so that you can get a notification the day after tonight's game, which is tomorrow, when I have the next episode of this show. And the Charlotte Hornets are led by LaMelo Ball, Mark Williams, Miles Bridges, Seth Curry, Brandon Miller, Yusuf Nurkic, Josh Green, Trey Mann, Tajan Salon, Musa Diabiti, I don't know how to say his name, Nick Smith Jr., KJ Simpson, Grant Williams, Taj Gibson, to name a few. They're led by LaMelo Ball. Miles Bridges does a good job for them. New up-and-coming small forward Brandon Miller. All these guys are good, young, upcoming guys. Most of them are going to be out this game, from what I hear. This team is actively also trying to lose. And it's not a team the Kings should lose to at all. I'm not going to do a Dave Deuce Mason and mark this as a guaranteed win. But the Kings are able to beat this team, especially if all these guys are going to be out tonight. And I got a question for you guys. Betting lines. All right. For betting lines, I got BetUS here. I like BetUS. It's like a traditional sports book. They have all sports on here. Plus, I like to do boxing on this site too. Whenever there's big boxing coming up for the weekend. And I'm in California. I'm able to sports bet here. And I believe you can use this site to bet in most places in the U.S. So it's a great site to use. I ask that you just use the description, use the link in the description below. How are you guys feeling about the Kings' current run for this play-in playoff right now? Do you feel the Kings are going to make it, or do you feel like the Kings are going to get bumped out of the play-in altogether? Answer that question below. Make a comment for me. Let me know below. If you make a comment before I make the next video, I'll put your comment in the next video. And also, guys, please press that like button. Also, click subscribe so you can catch the next episode after the next Kings game comes out. And you'll be able to see my next analysis the day after the next Kings game. So please click that subscribe button. We're new, but we're trying to grow the channel. Any new subscriptions will help that out, help me kick the algorithm's ass. Plus, we want to do some real fun stuff next season, like watch parties and things like that. And also, if you can, share the content. If you share the content, that's really big for me. I would really appreciate it if you shared it to any of your social medias. Thanks, and I appreciate you. And I got a motivational quote for you guys today. All right, and this quote is by Earl Nightingale. And it goes like this. Never give up on a dream just because of the time it will take to accomplish it. The time will pass anyway. And that quote is by Earl Nightingale. Earl Nightingale. Earl said, never give up on a dream just because of the time it will take to accomplish it. The time will pass anyway. That's facts, and that makes sense. Sometimes a task seems so big, so overwhelming, takes so long to do that you just procrastinate and you let it sit. How do you swallow a whale? One bite at a time. Similar quote. But anyway, that's about all I have for you guys today. I appreciate you joining me. I appreciate you being here for the full video. And I'd appreciate it if you haven't already. Click that like button, click that subscribe button. Help your boy kick the algorithm's ass. We're trying to grow here. If you can, share the content. Make a comment. Making comments help me kick the algorithm's ass as well. And make sure you're subscribed, and so you'll at least get a notification, or I'll show up in your playlist somewhere the day after the next Kings game, which is tonight, for the next episode of The Kings Morning After. Midday cup of soda with Jay. And I'm out. But before you go, check out these moves.
It's good.